Gacharic Spin by request. Let's go give it a listen. Hey there. This is by request from Home Gnome over at cupofcoffee.com. Thank you, Home Gnome, for this request and for your generous support. If you want your request to go to the front of the line, cupofcoffee.com is a good idea, as well as Patreon. Links are in the description box. So this is, as I said, by request. It's live, but it is the 13th anniversary online live 2022. And this is Rabbithole. Here we go.
どうでもいいなって口先が遊んじゃってるね君との名前の私を返して不器用ラララララ言う誤解しちゃってることだ全て結局なんてただの綺麗事でしょああ言う迷い込んで抜け出せないもっとよくねなんだいいか悪かなんかわかんないよ君はハイエナお腹をすかして私の心臓を食べ尽くしてもう少し飽きないでいてよ愛し方ね言う大体適当なことを聞いて真に受けちゃう方が妙なバカなんだってああ言う迷い込んでるだけですよね君の瞳見たら愛してるかどうかそんなん分かってんだ君はハイエナお腹をすかして私の心臓を食べ尽くして
Okay, so this blows my mind. This is 3 minutes, nearly 4 minutes of incredible musical depth. So I don't know the various iterations of GS well enough yet to know exactly who I'm looking at. But I believe this is Hannah on guitar. Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The second guitar edition, this is a complex song. I would love to throw this to Rick Beato and see what he thinks of it. He's got the depth to pull this apart. I went out online and looked at a few places that talked about this song, but there's very little depth to their comments. So let's try and pick it apart a little bit ourselves. Now, the first thing that caught my attention in this performance is the vocals. And if you'll listen to what they're doing, you'll listen to them lowering and raising their volumes, how much breath they're using when they're singing. Very jazz centered. And behind all this, on bass and drums, is this funky background going on while the guitars and the vocals and the keys push out this jazz influenced melody. Hear the sigh. Did you hear her raise her dynamic there? Put more right at the end of what she phrased. So let's back up a little bit. So when Hannah throws it over to her, raising that dynamic, pushing out that vocal. Now that la 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 in the background is something you heard a lot of in modern jazz in the 60s. If you listen to if you see a movie from the 60s, avant-garde stuff, you'll hear this in the background, this type of phrasing from the background vocals. Now, I read one review that thought that Koga's bass was too intrusive, but I love it. Again, if you're using a lot of jazz influence, bass drives jazz. It just does. It always has. So I think it's perfectly appropriate for her to be doing this. Did you hear that key mirror her vocal there? All right, full stop, change in direction. Here we go. Hear the dissonant chording in the background, but it's just enough to give it atmosphere. It's not too jarring. Did Did you hear her drop that vocal as soon as the instruments dropped out? Holy smokes, talk about attention to detail. Let's hear her do that again. She's really pushing out the dynamic, and then she just drops it so that the atmosphere remains the same. That's definitely a rabbit hole for a musician. I've played rock, blues, pop, country, but I don't have the depth to truly understand what's happening here. And I've said this before about jazz-influenced music. I don't fully grasp jazz like I probably ought to. This band's going to help me do that because this is such an interesting song all the way through. The vocal control is the star of this show because every single singer, everyone that's doing a vocal part, is having to control their breathing and the dynamic, pay attention to the dynamic while performing on other instruments in most cases. It's very impressive, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind to watch this. And Oreo on the keys was outstanding. Just the right phrasings, just the ability to create atmosphere in the background when other things were going on. But when it was her time to shine, she just made this it was so tasteful what she did. So I mean, I'm gonna have to listen to this for a while, and maybe I'll come back to it later because I saw a bare bones version of this where there was just in a white room. This was from 2023. I didn't watch it because I thought I might want to watch it on the channel later, but I think I'm going to go ahead and watch it because it's obvious that it's very raw, very live, and I know this is or may be. Probably is. It sounds like it. I've been fooled before, though. But I think this is live. But this other one is very raw in its sound, and I want to hear that. There's absolutely no arena feel. They're in a room. So I'm going to listen to that, too. But anyway, this, blew my mind. Great suggestion. Thank you so much for it. I hope you enjoyed this and that I wasn't too long-winded for you. Please hit the subscribe button on the way out if you haven't already. That helps me out. And I'm going to get out of here and put my brain back together. All right. I'll see you later. Bye now.